Congratulations, Obama. You fucked up another relationship with an ally. And this one is over 80 years old. You fucked up the relationship with the Philippines. You just pushed them to China. God, you're so fucking awesome. I've been to the Philippines. They love us over there. But you got to get all pissed off because he wants to kill all the drug dealers. You fucking douchebag.
Comments that we have heard again coming out of the Philippines. In this case, comments that President Duterte made in Beijing. And I just want to say that obviously we're aware of this rhetoric, of course, and we still hold that it is inexplicably at odds with the very close relationship that we have with the Filipino people, as well as the government there on many different levels, not just from a security perspective. We are going to be seeking an explanation of exactly what the president meant when he talked about separation from the U.S. It's not clear to us exactly what that means in all its ramifications. So we're going to be seeking a clarification on that. I would add that Assistant Secretary Russell will be in the Philippines, in Manila, this weekend. This trip was long scheduled. I don't want to give any impression that it was thrown on as a result of recent comments or activities. It was something he's been planning for months, but it does give us an opportunity in the context of these comments to try to get a better explanation of what was meant by separation and where.
You may have a close relationship with the government and the people of the Philippines, but you don't seem to have a very close relationship with the president, who is, the head of the government. I'm just wondering if how could this possibly come as a surprise to you, given his increasingly nasty rhetoric over the course of the last several months, not just directed at the alliance or the military relationship, but also directed at your ambassador first, then the President of the United States. Why are you surprised now that he would say something like this? And secondly, he was semi-specific in what he meant by separation. He talked about economic and military ties. Perhaps, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said perhaps not the cultural side or the.
Well, that's just the point, Matt. I mean, whether he was semi-specific or not, I mean, I don't want to quibble over percentages here, but obviously we believe that there's certainly room for. We have an interest in trying to gain a little bit more clarity on what he meant, and I think even in your question, you hit on exactly why we would seek greater clarity on this. The second thing I'd say, though, is I don't think I said it at the outset, and if I did, I was mistaken. I don't mean to. I wasn't trying to say we were surprised by these comments. As I said, we have continued to see.
Unaware.
No, I said we were aware of the reports.
No, I know that, but I mean, it's not something that you expected. I mean, what I'm saying is that this came as a surprise to you when he said this in China.
The specific
correct?
line about separation,
Yes.
Did we know that was coming? No, we didn't know that was coming.
Right.
But this is yet another string in some pretty strong rhetoric that we believe is at odds with the kind of relationship that we have had and continue to have with the Filipino people.
Do you have any reason to believe that anyone in the government below the president has similar feelings or intent?
That's difficult to know, Matt. I don't know that we have particular insight into people below his level and what they might, how they might view his comments. What I will say, though, is that we have in the past, in recent weeks, we've seen some of this bombastic rhetoric clarified or walked back after the fact. So again, all of that gives us reason to think that there's a purpose in trying to get a better, deeper explanation on this.
And last thing, very quickly, who, other than Assistant Secretary Russell, is anyone approaching the Philippines government in the immediate?
Our ambassador has been obviously in touch with officials there, of course. Well, not. I mean, today. No, I mean in general.
On this
particular line,
thing.
I'm not aware of any other communication on this particular line. I mean, look, it just happened. Our ambassador has, as you would expect, has stayed in close touch with his counterparts in Manila, and I suspect that that will continue, and that there are conversations about this going on. But I can't confirm that as we stand here today. Wouldn't surprise me at all, though, if the ambassador was having those kinds of conversations. And as I said, Assistant Secretary Russell will be heading over in a few days, and he fully expects to be able to have those kinds of conversations as well and try to figure out exactly what this means.
All right. So I know I said it was the last one, but
hang on.
just I promise this is the last one.
You-
More
that was
broadly,
two
I
questions ago, you
know.
promised.
All right.
No, go ahead. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I just want to, more broadly, in terms of the whole rebalance to Asia or pivot, it seems as though instead of gaining or increasing your influence, you're losing it. Would you well, I'm sure you would disagree. Why would you disagree with that?
Yes, of course we would disagree with that. Look, the rebalance is so there are a couple aspects to it. It is advancing. We are seriously committed to it, and you can see it across, again, many different sectors of government and even non-government activity. The second thing I would say is that relationships in that part of the world or in any part of the world are not zero-sum games, and we're looking at it like that. We've long said that we would welcome a closer relationship between the Philippines and China, between other nations and China. This doesn't have to be binary, and it's not zero-sum. And for our part, the rebalance was never about any one country in the region. It was about putting more of our efforts as a government, as an administration, in the Pacific theater, because so much of the future is going to be tied up there, economically, from a security perspective, politically, socially. And so that commitment, our commitment to the rebalance.
Another day in history. Obama has ruined again. October 20th. This is the day that General MacArthur waded ashore in the Philippines, made a speech, and announced to the people of the Philippines, I have returned. Anybody see anything ironic in here? Is it because Trump said that Patton and MacArthur would be rolling in their graves, seeing the bullshit that Obama's doing in Iraq, in Syria, in Libya? Go ahead and vote for Hillary. Go ahead and vote. This is going to continue. Have to look for the next dates. See what other upcoming history is going to be ruined by the liberal machine. Thanks for watching. It only gets worse.